All right, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Too long ago here.
Since we've been to Scotland, England, I just told Nick I want to go back with him, and Nick here.
I did enjoy going.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there's other places to go visit if we're going to put the time, the effort, the money into exploring.
But there's so much we haven't seen.
That's absolutely true. There's a lot I haven't seen in this country either. A lot.
True.
A lot to erase. All right, so we're going to go ahead and check out this QI.
Quite interesting.
And it's how do we number our monarchs? Now, she's got a little prop to show you in just a second, but I just want to say I think I somewhat know this answer, not completely though. Because, you know, when you're a kid and you hear about this kind of stuff in school, you think, like, okay, it was just like dad was 1, son was 2, his son was 3. But no, it's like cousins and second cousins and this or that. And I don't know if it's like only if like you're in the line of succession to be the monarch where you get that number. I'm not sure, because you can have Fred as a dad, not that that's a real name, and then Leonardo as a son, but then Leonardo was the uncle and the great uncle, and so he might be Leonardo III when Fred was the dad. Something like that, right? Do you follow?
No, but okay.
It's not just the father and son. It could be an uncle.
It could be an
or
uncle. Yes.
this or that.
Yes.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yes.
How they go in the numbers and they decide. I'm assuming it's just over the first one that was of royalty, maybe at least a duke or more.
Well, and then how do we number our monarchs? Also, what does that mean? Does that mean in order of like progression of who?
I just thought like the 4th, the
ruled,
5th, the 8th, the 9th.
Or is it that, or is it like how well they led the country? I have no idea, but I know that I got this, and we counted what, 43, Nick, since 1066.
Sure.
But I got this journal in England when I was there, because I like to journal my little vacations. But yeah, so I brought this and I was like, wait, we gotta see this. And it says 43. Just saying. From William the First all the way down to Charles III.
So is this a book? Now, she's being very modest here. She's added a lot of work to it.
It's not finished.
Oh, that's a naked photo. Just kidding. A lot of work to it, right? And it's to the point like this where, is this meant to have this done to it, or did you do this to a regular book that you got there?
No, so this is just, it was just a
notebook.
notebook.
It's just a journal.
It was just a journal I added in, and so I started
Gotcha.
cutting out pages, but the problem was that I glued in a bunch of, this is what added the bulk, is that I had glued in a bunch of pages that I didn't want to rip up from like Whitby Abbey. I wanted to keep it, and it goes on the back. But anyway.
I'm looking at something like this from like a value standpoint, and that seems like years from now that could be quite valuable because you have actual clippings and different things from your trip. Also, history-wise.
That's true.
Because these are places you actually went to, right?
Also, it's got all my notes about it and
yeah,
the photos.
That's what I'm saying.
Why would anybody want that?
You know what that reminds me of?
Just fell out.
Why would anybody want that? Because first of all, people buy like ticket stubs to like certain games or whatever, and they spend a good amount of money for it. Because it's all this work you put into it. Maybe not your personal photos of you pretending to use the toilet there, but...
It was the king's latrine.
But I'm just saying, you know what this reminds me of? I'll give you guys just a second. From a movie, what does this remind you of? Because it reminds me of one thing from a movie. The Holy Grail from Indiana Jones. Last Crusade. It's not quite like that, but it's his dad's work of years and years trying to figure out where the Grail's at. And
Yeah, but I do have like different like Birkett Castle right there. Boom.
Ooh.
Shut that.
Flip out.
Ready? Anyway, okay, we're going to move on.
Sound. So we're going to go and check this out.
Great sound.
If you like our reaction anyway, please don't forget to
like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you can be aware of our next uploaded videos. I was going to say content. That could have worked too. But yeah, comment in the comment section. Helps the algorithm out.
Here we help.
Imagine that Jamie Oliver was to be crowned the next King of England. It's sort of not inconceivable in the strange world in which we live.
President Oliver.
What number, James, would he be? What would be his regnal number, as the...
Well, it would be different in England from Scotland.
No, there's just one UK, so it would be the same in both. But what would it be?
I'm desperate to say
He's
James
like, no.
III.
Wow, is David wrong about something?
No, because what happened was when Elizabeth was crowned 60 years ago, she was, of course, called Queen Elizabeth II. But in Scotland, there was a bit of an outcry because she wasn't the second Queen Elizabeth in Scotland, she was the first. They had Mary, Queen of Scots, when Elizabeth I was on the throne. So a few
And that's why he didn't
early
think Scotland would be different.
E2R pillar boxes
That's what I was
were
thinking.
trashed in Scotland. There was a big fuss. And Winston Churchill, who was Prime Minister in 1953, he sort of decided that
350 years
I
later.
know, people, let's long memories on these things. So Churchill essentially laid down a convention whereby UK monarchs would be numbered uniformly according to either an English or Scottish reckoning, whichever was higher. So James I of England was James the Sixth of Scotland. So James II was James VII. So if there were another James, he would be called James VIII. That would be the procedure.
I worry when you say things like this that you're the only person who knows. If Jamie Oliver did become king and you weren't around to tell them, they might get it wrong. What are you going to... You need to leave these things in a notebook.
You need to get some tablets for you to do.
They're recording the video.
Princess Anne looks a lot like my daughter in that picture, quite disturbingly.
Gosh! She's very young there, isn't she?
I feel sorry for all the other finalists to be queen.
So that was interesting. As soon as they said that, I started looking here, and then I was like, wait, there's no Henry VI. But then it says that Henry VI was killed. He was made king at 9 months old, and then he was murdered. So I guess maybe that's why they...
The baby was murdered? How long did it live for?
I was surprised.
Did he
made
live
king, I mean, he just says he made king at 9 months old. I don't...
Hold on. Oh my
1 year.
gosh. You killed the baby?
Seriously, that is so...
And he was made
sad.
a king at 9 months. You know, what do you think we should do with the invasion? Oh, I heard, let's do it.
But either way, that's interesting. But they're right. Like, looking at these, there's John, or was there another John? No, okay, because there's just one John. But William the First, William the Second, and then you go all... Okay, so William the First in 1066, William the Second, 1087, and then you go all the way down to William the Third in 1689. So yeah, they're numbered just on their order of being king or queen. How intriguing! I would have never guessed.
So the interesting thing was, obviously I was wrong again. I was excited I was right. But I think I'm getting confused maybe with different countries and their monarchs. Like, you know, what's King Louis from France or whatever, and all those different ones. Because I want to say, I don't know for sure, but I want to go back to my history class that like it was Henry the 14th and then Louis the 14th and Louis the 16th. And I'm like, where did the 15th go? And so, anyway, let me know if you know more about the monarchs. Obviously, I just proved once again, I know less than nothing.
I'm just intrigued.
But we had the journal back cover to help us out, saved our life. And one thing I want to say there is David Mitchell, who I've never seen be told, no, that's not right about something. He seemed to be quiet. And they even went to him 1 second. He seemed like he was still kind of trying to recover. And then eventually he had that joke at the end. But that was interesting. Like, no one's going to get everything right, but he seems to always, like, be correcting people. The corrector was corrected.
But at the same time, he wasn't wrong, especially when they brought up about how Scotland was
I'm not saying he's an idiot, but...
No, but I'm saying...
Stephen literally said, no, that's not right.
I know, he did shut it down right. UK is both. But
Love it.
he isn't wrong in the sense, because they even said that Scotland got all upset, saying, wait, she's our first Queen Elizabeth, she's not the second. But there were...
But he technically was wrong, because that's not how they do it now.
That's true.
UK.
How they do it now. Yeah, because
Let's go.
They made a change.
I win. If you like our reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
Goodbye.